White as an Indian pipe, red as a cardinal flower, fabulous as the moon at noon, February hour. Silence is all we dread. There's ransom in a voice, but silence is infinity. Himself have not a face. Like brooms of steel, the snow and wind has swept the winter street. The house was hooked, the sun set out, faint deputies of heat. Where rode the bird? The silence tied his ample, plodding steed. The apple in the cellar snug was all the one that played. Had this one day not been, where could it cease to be? How smitten, how superfluous, were every other day. Less love should value less, what loss would value more? Had it the stricken privilege it cherishes before. Elijah's wagon knew no thill, was innocent of wheel. Elijah's horses, as unique as was his vehicle. Elijah's journey to portray, expire with him the skill who justified Elijah in feats inscrutable. Longing is like the seed that rustles in the ground, believing if it intercede, it shall at length be found. The hour and the climb, each circumstance unknown, what constancy must be achieved before it see the sun. Not any higher stands the grave for heroes than for men, not any nearer for the child than them 70. This latest leisure equal lulls the beggar and his queen, propitiate this democrat of summer's afternoon. Dominion last until obtained, possession just as long, but these, endowing as they flit, eternally belong. How everlasting are the lips, known only to the dew. These are the brides of permanence, supplanting me and you. Who were the Father and the Son, we pondered when a child, and what had they to do with us? And when, portentous told, with inference appalling, by childhood fortified, we thought, at least they are no worse than they have been described. Who are the Father and Son? Do we demand today? The Father and the Son himself would doubtless specify, but had they the felicity when we desire to know? We better friends have been, perhaps, than time ensued to be. We start to learn that we believe but once, entirely. Belief, it does not fit so well, when altered frequently. Belief, when we blush, that heaven, if we achieve event ineffable, we shall have shunned until ashamed to own the miracle. A wind that rose, though not a leaf in any forest stirred, but with itself a cold engage beyond the realm of bird. A wind that woke, a lone delight, like separation swell, restored an arctic confidence to the invisible. Because that you are going and never coming back, and I, however absolute, may overlook your track. Because that death is final, however first it be, this instant be suspended above mortality. Significance that each has lived, the other to detect. Discovery now God himself could now annihilate. Eternity, presumption, the instant I perceive that you, who were existence, yourself forgot to live. The life that is, will then have been the thing I never knew, as paradise fictitious, until the realm of you. The life that is to be, to me, a residence too plain, unless in my Redeemer's face I recognize your own, of immortality who doubts we may exchange with me, curtailed by your obscuring face, of everything but he, of heaven and hell I also yield the right to reprehend, to whoso will commute the space for his less priceless friend. If God is love, as he admits, we think that he must be because he is a jealous God. He tells us certainly, if all is possible with him, as he besides concedes, he will refund us finally our confiscated gods. A word dropped careless on a page may stimulate an eye, when folded in perpetual seam, the wrinkle make her lie. Infection in the sentence breeze, we may inhale despair at distances of centuries from the malaria. I cannot see my soul, but know 'tis there, nor ever saw his house nor furniture, who has invited me with him to dwell. But a confiding guest consult as well, what raiment honor him the most, that I be adequately dressed, for he ensures to none, less men, specificial, adorn, procuring him perpetual dress, by dating it a sudden feast. There is no frigate, like a book, to take us lands away, nor any coursers, like a page of prancing poetry. This traverse may the poorest take, without oppress of toll. How frugal is the chariot that bears a human soul! This is the place I hoped before, where I am hoping now. The seed of disappointment grew within a capsule gay, too distant to rest the feet that walk this plank of balm. Before them lies a scapeless sea, the way is closed they came. The most triumphant bird I ever knew or met embarked upon a twig today, until dominion set, I famished to behold so eminent a sight, and sang for nothing scrutable but intimate delight, retired and resumed his transitive estate. To what delicious accident does find its glory fit? When memory is full, put on the perfect lid. This morning's finest syllable, presumptuous evening said. I saw that the flake was on it, but plotted with time to dispute, unchanged. I urged with a candor that cost me my honest heart. But you, she returned with valor, sagacious of my mistake, have altered, except the pillage, for the progress' sake. Confirming all who analyze, in the opinion fair, that eloquence is when the heart has not a voice to spare. I worked for chafe, and earning wheat was haughty and betrayed. What right had fields to arbitrate in matters ratified? I tasted wheat and hated chaff, and thanked the ample friend. Wisdom is more becoming viewed at distance than at hand. Is heaven a physician? They say that he can heal, but medicine, posthumous, is unavailable. Is heaven an exchequer? They speak of what we owe, but that negotiation I'm not a party to. September's baccalaureate, a combination is of crickets, crows, and retrospects, and a dissembling breeze. that hints without assuming, an innuendo seer that makes the heart put up its fun and turn philosopher. So proud she was to die, it made us all ashamed that what we cherished, so unknown to her, desire seemed so satisfied to go where none of us should be. Immediately, that anguish stooped almost to jealousy. The sacred closet, when you sweep entitled memory, select a reverential broom and do it silently. 'Twill be a labor of surprise, besides identity of other interlocutors, a probability. August, the dust of that domain, unchallenged, let it lie. You cannot supersede itself, but it can silence you. The bone that has no marrow, what ultimate for that, is not fit for table, for beggar, or for cat. A bone has obligations, a being has the same. A marrowless assembly is culpabler than shame. But how shall finished creatures a function fresh obtain? Old Nicodemus' phantom confronting us again. The spider is an artist, has never been employed, though his surpassing merit is freely certified by every broom and Bridget throughout a Christian land. Neglected son of genius, I take thee by the hand. 'Twas later, when the summer went, when the cricket came, and yet we knew that gentle clock meant naught but going home. 'Twas sooner when the cricket went than when the winter came, yet the apathetic pendulum keeps esoteric time. While we were fearing it, it came, but came with less of fear, because that fearing it so long had almost made it fair. There is a fitting, a dismay, a fitting, a despair. 'Tis harder knowing it is due than knowing it is here. The trying it on the utmost, the morning it is new, is terribler than wearing it a whole existence through. The mountains stood in haze, the valleys stopped below, and went or waited as they liked, the river and the sky. At leisure was the sun, his interest so fire, a little from remark withdrawn. The twilight spoke the spire, so soft upon the scene. The act of evening fell. We felt how neighborly a thing was the invisible. The way to know the bobolink from every other bird, precisely as the joy of him obliged to be inferred, of impudent habiliment, attired to defy, impertinence subordinate at times to majesty, of sentiments seditious, amenable to law, as heresies of transport or Puck's apostasy, extrinsic to attention, too intimate with joy. He compliments existence until allured away by seasons or his children, adult and urgent grown, or unforeseen aggrandizement, or happily renown. By contrast, certifying the bird of birds is gone, how nullified the meadow, her sorcerer withdrawn. The harm of years is on him, the infamy of time, to pose him like a fashion, and give dominion room. Forget his morning forces, the glory of decay is a mightier pageant than least vitality. a stagnant pleasure like a pool that lets its rushes grow until the heedless tumble in and make the water slow, impeding navigation bright of shadows going down. Yet even this shall rouse itself when freshets come along. Art thou the thing I wanted? Begone, my tooth has grown. Supply the minor palate that has not starved so long. I tell thee, while I waited, the mystery of food increased till I abjured it and dined without, like God. Could hope inspect her basis, her craft were done, as a fictitious character, where it has none, balked in the vastest instance, but to renew, felled by but one assassin, prosperity. Have we our senses? But perhaps 'tis well they're not at home, so intimate with madness, he's liable with them. Have we the eyes within our head? How well that we are blind, we could not look upon the earth, so utterly unmoved. I know suspense, his steps so terse, and turns so weak away. Besides, suspense is neighborly when I am riding by. He's always at the window, the lily I descry. I mention to my horses, the need is not of me. I thought that nature was enough, till human nature came, but that the other did absorb, as parallax, a flame of human nature, just aware, there, out of the divine, brief struggle for capacity, the power to contain, is always as the contents, but give a giant room, and you will lodge a giant, not a smaller man. In this short life, that only lasts an hour, how much, how little, is within our power. Late in nature, so suffices, the enchantless pod, when we advertise existence for the missing seed. Maddest heart that God created cannot move a sod, pasted by the simple summer on the longed for dead. Left in immortal youth on that low plain that hath not retrospection nor again, ransomed from years, sequestered from decay, cancelled like dawn, incomprehensive day. The most pathetic thing I do is play I hear from you. I make believe until my heart almost believes it too. But when I break it with the news, you knew it was not true. I wish I had not broken it, Goliath, so would you. Until the desert knows that water grows, his sands suffice. But let him once suspect that Caspian fact, Sahara dies. Utmost is relative, have not or have, adjacent sums enough. The first abode on the familiar road, galloped in dreams. Yesterday's history, 'tis so far away. Yesterday's poetry, 'tis philosophy. Yesterday's mystery, where it is today, while we shrewdly speculate, flutter both away. The things we thought that we should do, we other things have done. But those peculiar industries have never been begun. The lands we thought we should seek, when large enough to run, by speculation ceded to speculation's sun. The heaven in which we hoped to pause, when discipline was done, untenable to logic, but possibly the one. Of life to own, from life to draw, but never touch the reservoir. Two lengths, as every day, its absolute extent, and area superior, by hope or horror lent. Eternity will be velocity or pause at fundamental signals from fundamental laws. To die is not to go on doom's consummate chart. No territory new is staked. Remain thou as thou art. Death's waylaying, not the sharpest of the thefts of time. There marauds the sword robber. Silence is his name. No assault, nor any menace, doth betoken him. But from life's consummate cluster, he supplants the balm. Go slow, my soul, to feed thyself upon his rare approach. Go rapid, lest competing death prevail upon the coach. Go timid, should his final eye determine thee amiss. Go boldly, for thou paid his price, redemption, for a kiss. The mushroom is the elf of plants. At evening it is not. At morning, in a truffled hut, it stopped upon a spot, as if it tarried always, and yet his whole career is shorter than a snake's delay, and fleeter than a tear. 'Tis vegetation's juggler, the germ of alibi, doth like a bubble antedate, and like a bubble, I feel as if the grass was pleased to have it intermit. This surreptitious sign of summer circumspect. Had nature any supple face, or could she one contemn? Had nature an apostate, that mushroom, it is him. Delights to spare, at setting, is that delight is less than the sufficing longing, that so impoverish. Enchantments, perihelion, mistaken oft has been for the authentic orbit of its interior sun.